Okay, this is part two of the video I did a little bit earlier. Um, so a little bit earlier, I was talking about the NBA and how they are trying to characterize and create this concept of like doing the giving the making the good guy the light skinned niggas and making the bad guys the dark skinned niggas. And they've been doing this um, recently, honestly, in the last decade, the last 10 years, ever since the LeBron the decision, they've been pushing that into hyperdrive, and especially now you can clearly see it. And what I also was speaking on is how now they're creating a context and a narrative where not only is it them, but on top of that, it is also the foreigners. Because for a long time, like I was saying earlier, the best players in the NBA were the FBA things, Foundation of Black Americans, Dr. J, Bill Russell, Wilt the Still, Clyde the Glide Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe. You know what I'm saying? That was the dominant force in the league. Elgin Baylor, like just Sam Jones, and it was too many. There's like it's just too many. I can't even. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Who else is just ridiculous? Uh, uh, Darnell. What was it? The Chocolate Thunder. I forgot his name. Darnell Dockett or something like that. I forgot. I forgot his name. But just too many. Honestly, too many. Too many raw, super raw players. Yeah, especially in the '70s, and then in the '80s, of course, Magic, and then Kareem and Dominique and Charles Barkley. Even though he's a coon now, but he was a beast. The mound round of rebound. Um, so many Shaq. Uh, you know, like Kobe, like Jordan. It's just Isaiah Thomas. Like, just too many. So in order to get that energy away, they went international. You know what I'm saying? Now they're trying to make the face of the league, and LeBron's helping to do this, which I was pissing me off. But they're trying to make the face of the league foreign-born players, specifically foreign white-born players. They tried it a couple years back when they gave Steve Nash and Dirk the MVPs. You know what I'm saying? And they made sure to highlight that. But then what's funny is when Steve Nash faced the real niggas, he got destroyed. That's why he never got to the finals. When he got to the Western Conference Finals, they destroyed him. They locked that ass down. That little running around like bullshit that they did with the no hand check rule, so you couldn't really play no defense on him. That that allowed Nash to be able to pop off because before that he wasn't popping off at all. He was kind of in check. He wasn't Nash, like you know what I'm saying. That's why he won those two MVPs. But a lot of I remember when he won those two MVPs, Kobe and Shaq were like. They was over looking at each other like, motherfucker, we know what this is. All the niggas, T Mac, all the real niggas in the league who were way better than him, AI, were all looking like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. And then Dirk's my favorite player when I grew up. I fuck with Dirk. But when he won the MVP, they lost to Golden State when they were the number one seed and they were destroying everybody. They won like 66, 67 games and they're just blowing everybody out. Then they faced the real niggas, Steven Jackson, Jason Richardson, Michael Petras, Baron Davis, and Matt Barnes, and Al Harrington. You know what I'm saying? Them schoolyard boys, and they just took it back to schoolyard. Like we're gonna play small ball. We just gonna bully Dirk, and they destroyed Dirk. Like they beat them, and it wasn't even that close. Like they beat them in a series in 6 games, but it could have went 4 games. Like they could have swept them. And it taught Dirk a lot. Dirk will tell you too. That shit taught him a lot. It taught him he got tough after that. He finally and he ended up winning his ring. But yeah, around that time, yeah, they really that's what I'm saying. So that was an example of just the FBA dominance in the NBA, and they've been trying for a long time to turn it international. Like they've been trying to do that for a long time. International means non-FBA. That's why they'll put the Greek freak in front of them, the foreign flag, non-FBA types. But then the Greek freak lost back to back years to FBA niggas, Jimmy Butler and then Kawhi Leonard. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and got destroyed both times. Got exposed both times. It was even worse with Jimmy Butler. or Luke, and now they're trying to make the focus Luka. Remember before the year started, the nigga was getting so much hype. I was like, what the fuck? And then they started, and then he blew it. He was like the second worst team in the West. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, they're overhyping shit. I was like, all right, he's nice, but this nigga's not a top 5 player in the league at all. Like, he put some good stats, but they don't win shit. Like, they still are at the bottom in the West. Like, they've done a lot better recently, but still the bottom of the West. And we can clearly see the agenda. Clearly see it. I'm like, no. Luka ain't gonna be no face in no league. I'm like, y'all are so desperate. And Joker, too, they overhype Joker. I'm like, bro, every time he faces another Anthony Davis or any other top fours, which is power forward, he gets destroyed. It's not even close. When Anthony Davis ever played him, I remember when the Lakers played him, they used to like Anthony Davis used to destroy Joker. Joker would have like 10 points, and Anthony Davis have 28, 14, and 7 with 5 blocks and 3 steals and shit. And Joker would have to go take a seat because he been getting washed the whole game. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, hell no. Stop this. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, please stop manufacturing bullshit so you can create a new hope. Wait, hope. I'm like, man. I'm like, I really hate when they do shit like that. And then they're trying to take the basketball energy away from FBA, the foundation of Black Americans, and more specifically the dark foundation of Black Americans, like a Jordan type, and a Bill Russell, and Kobe, and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, Durant, like, those are the best players ever. Like, no. Dr. J and shit, like, Isaiah, come on. Dominique, like, they're trying to take away from that and then change the narrative and not put them in a positive light. So, and it's clear you can see that. It started out with Steph. I remember the year Steph won that second MVP, and he was like the media darling and shit. They literally were not even mentioning LeBron that year, and LeBron got hot. LeBron saw what the fuck they were doing. That's why in that finals he made it a point to really show up Steph. He outplayed Steph in that finals. He outplayed Steph when they mattered most. Game 5, 6, and 7. You the 2-time MVP. You that nigga. You supposed to, when you're out on the court, you supposed to take it home. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear, oh, he was hurt. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Kyrie came back from an ACL, and he still was balling. So you don't give me he's hurt. Like, nigga, if you're out there, you could play. Like, shoot it up and then ball out. I'm like, nah, you folded, bro. You were hurt when you was up 3-1. You was still balling when you was up 3-1. So that's an excuse. Like, nah. So, to me, that needs to be countered. We need to have it needs to go back to the whole bunch of FBA niggas dominating the league even more so, and them and us sniffing out all the agendas in all the sports basically. Cause they've been doing that in the NBA for a while. We just never peeped game on it, and we were so like inviting that we never understood there was an agenda behind the invitation or us inviting them in, and we need to kind of be on some troll Holt who goes there with shit, because us doing that. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, because us doing that has now, cost us a lot of shit, and they're like playing that game off with each other, and we don't need to be ran game on basically. Game doesn't need to be run on us. So that was my take on the NBA stuff, and what else? Yeah, the best. Okay, right now this is my like my sports section. I'm gonna call it the sports section of the Truth Hour or whatever. And so right now LeBron's hurt, KD's hurt, all the best players right now are like hurt and sidelined. And right now they're talking about Joker should be in the league for MVP. Joker's overrated. No, he's had a great year, but I've seen him not live up to certain hypes and not stay the course. The person who should be in the league right now for MVP is Damian Lillard, especially since Joel's out and LeBron's now out. LeBron really should get the MVP. But if there's a second Lillard, because Lillard has stepped his shit up. Unless he plays Curry. Because Curry, for some reason, Curry takes it to another level. Like, I remember the game earlier in the year when Lillard was balling, but Curry fucked around and had like 62 and shit. It was like shooting out of his mind. I was like, holy shit. So, but consistently, Lillard has been more consistent than Curry this year. And Lillard has done it without CJ McCollum. So he's done it literally solo, like sort of like Curry, but he has a higher seat than Curry. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, because Curry doesn't have Clay this year, but still, you know, Dame ain't never learned and never won MVP, and he's always been um, underrated and been marginalized. So now this is his time to shine. You're second right now in the MVP race because no Joel Embiid, no LeBron. Like I said, you can overtake Joker. You finish with a top 3 seed, which is very doable, especially since you're playing like out of your mind. Get a top 3 seed. He should be the MVP of the league this year. He deserves it. He's been the most consistent, the most durable. He stepped his game up even higher. Like, yeah, he's balling out of control. He's dropping buckets without his little tag team partner, and he's doing a little. He's playing D. Like, yeah, he's really keeping the ship afloat. And so now, when they start winning even more, he deserves an MVP this year. He deserves an MVP, and that'll be good. That'll be a good thing too, because he an FBA boy. He's from Oakland and shit. So he still got some of that. I think Oakland or LA. I think he's either from Oakland or Compton, one or the other. But I know he's from a real niggas area. So I respect that. I respect that a lot. I like that. So what else? What else should I bring up? What else? So I'm gonna say in the NBA right now, the best, the 2 teams that I see like are going to be in the finals. If the Nets are fully healthy and the Lakers are fully healthy, it's going to be Lakers and Nets. Now, if LeBron ain't there or AD ain't there or shit like that, it's probably going to be Clippers. And then if the Nets are, you know what I'm saying, fugazi and they, stumble because that defense ain't working, it's going to either be 76ers or it could, or, hold on, them Heatles. The Heat kind of looking right. They'll crap back up in the top 4 seeds. So I'm like, it might fuck around and be the Heatles again. If the Nets are hurt and KD still hurt for a longer extended period of time, and Greek Freak gets hurt, it might be the Heat again. Like for real. And 76ers with Embiid, like yeah, it might be the Heat again. So the Heat could possibly sneak in again because they just sluck up and nobody even mentioning them. And Jimmy Butler wasn't an All-Star this year, and all he does is just keep things afloat. So yeah, but everybody's healthy. Nets and Lakers, and if the Lakers can add another big man like a Drummond, and then get probably another shooter to space the floor, I got the Lakers in 7. But if not, if I haven't seen how they play against the Nets when they're fully healthy. But if the Nets don't play no defense, that's just not gonna work in the finals. And I like the Lakers in 7. So that's my take. And then I like the Clippers and Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. I like Portland though to push both the Clippers and or Lakers to 6 or 7 games in the semis. Lillard's gonna ball out, but it's not gonna be enough. And then on the in the East block, I like it to be the Nets and the 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I like that to go 7 games. I like the Greek Freak to go up against the Nets. They're probably going to push it to 7. I like the Heat to go up against the 76ers. They're probably going to push it to 7. So it should be a competitive, lit playoffs. Should be a deep, lit playoffs. So that's my prediction. That's my whole apparatus for this season. So yeah, stay tuned. And then in the NBA, in the NFL, I want to see Deshaun Watson go really to the Dolphins or to the Saints. So you know what I'm saying? Like that'll be lit. That'll be lit. You know what I'm saying? Go down to Miami. That'll be lit. You know what I'm saying? They're just a quarterback away. Either go to Miami or go to New Orleans. New Orleans just a quarterback away. New Orleans look like that's prime. Deshaun go there. They go to Super Bowl. They go to Super Bowl this year. You know what I'm saying? And black quarterback in New Orleans. Yeah, that's lit. That's lit. So we go with that. What else? What other story? What other bullshit's coming out? What other bullshit coming out? Well, probably some of the same old 1 2 step shit. Um, all these damn false flag operations so that agendas can be pushed. The gun control shit, the fucking Asian Trojan horse bullshit to take the narrative, focus away from black people and spin the narrative, and then talk about Asians being harmed by black people, so then to attack black people who, and so you can justify the perpetuation of the black genocide campaign and all this lynching bullshit and all this hyper aggressive bullshit that's going on. What I feel like needs to happen is we need to get into a proactive mindset and start really crushing all of this shit before they even can start get anything started. And on top of that, we need to make sure that we cut off all these fake celebrities and all these fake black leaders, quote unquote. Because there's no black leader right now. There's a the only thing that's in a leadership position or progressive position is the grassroots who have knowledge of self and who are countering all of the shit that's being pushed forward. That's the only thing that's going on right now, which is good. If we want to say anything's in a leadership position. Now, all the leaders, quote unquote, are beholden to their 1% white paymasters. Obama, celebrities, the rappers, you know what I'm saying? All of the quote unquote leaders, politicians are in the pockets of the ruling class, the 1%, the banking elite, whatever you want to call them, the Anglo American ruling class, the oligarchy. And so that's what needs to be called out, that's what needs to be stopped, and that's what needs to be defeated. That's what needs to be defeated. That's it. That's all. And what else? What else? What else? What else? Um, the rappers. We need a new era of rap. I'm glad Nas got his first Grammy, but that tells you how bullshit the Grammys are. Cause Cardi B got a Grammy before Nas, and Cardi B won her Grammy when she beat out Nipsey Hussle for Rap Album of the Year, or Album of the Year, whatever it was. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Like her album, they couldn't even touch Victory Lap. Victory Lap, you don't even skip a song. You know what I'm saying? Victory Lap, that shit flow. You know what I'm saying? One through however it's on, that it's like 15 to 20. The shit just flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Victory Lap album just flow. You just let it ride. That's a riding ass music. Anybody can ride to that shit. You know what I'm saying? No men, women. Ain't no nigga finna be that damn that damn fucking Cardi. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't ride. And there's no thought provoking shit. Like it's no substance thing. Nip's album was substance. Nip's album was talking real shit. You know what I'm saying? From the intro, Victory Lap, to rap nigga basically saying like he's nothing like you rap ass whack niggas that's signed and sold their soul to the whole music industry. Like he's saying, nah, bro, I'm independent. I don't got my masters. I'm a boss. I'm not weak. I'm a man. Like you know what I'm saying? Then last time that I checked, you know what I'm saying? Then young nigga like the dedication. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about the dedication. Like that was flowing with Kendrick on it. Then Sucker Proof. Status Symbol 3 was riding. Keys to the City. Uh, Blue Laces 2. Grinding All My Life. A million ways to get rich. Or whichever one it was called. Then Right Hand to God. Loaded Bases. Real Big. Double Cup. Man, that was so many. Like the whole, I'm thinking the whole album just flowed. I'm thinking this shit like there's no weak songs on the album. There's no songs that I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got a song where like, man, this shit feeling. Let's skip. It ain't no skip. It ain't no skip. Hustle and Motivate. I almost forgot about that. You see what I'm saying? That's a hit. Like, yeah, like his whole album was a classic. That's one of the best albums that I've heard. That album and the Sideline Stories album J. Cole's album, the two albums I didn't even skip. That J. Cole album, Sideline Stories was the first album I never skipped before. I was like, yeah, that really put me on to J. Cole. I had heard his hits, but to hear that, I was like, yeah, that's it right there. So that and that Nipsey album, that Nipsey album is a classic. That's a classic ass album. That was one of the best albums I've ever listened to for real. And like that shit was riding the whole 2018, man. Because like I remember when he dropped that shit. Because at 2017, the the Kendrick Damn album came out, and that shit was thumping. Everybody was, you know what I'm saying? Be humble, shut up, man. You know, y'all know the video. And then the DLA, already know that DLA shit, and that whole album was lit. But then towards the end of 2017, it's kind of getting redundant because I heard it. It's been out for a minute. And so, but then, Meek was in jail, so there was no Meek. So I'm like, damn, ain't no Meek album coming out. Ain't no Meek shit. So that was kind of getting played out. And like, this is before Kendrick dropped the Black Panther album. So I'm like, damn, ain't no shit to listen to. Like, I don't listen to this damn bubble rap shit. And then, I damn sure don't listen to that damn sex slave chick flick rap shit. But then Nip dropped that rap nigga song. Then he dropped Dedication. That's the first two songs I heard before the album came out. And I had listened to Nip, but I had listened to Nip in passing. He was like, oh, you see the shit on Hot New Hip Hop or Hip Hop Early or all the websites where you go to get the music. Um, you see him when you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this shit alright. But you know what I'm saying? He was always around when there was another person that was snapping. And so, he was around when Wayne and shit was on, but he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't on that level and he wasn't listening to him like that. And then when Rose and the MMG shit was out, he was listening to them, so you wasn't really listening to it. And then Cole had his window, K Dot had his window, so you wasn't really giving him your attention. So then when all the music got depressed, it left him in a prime slot. So when he dropped it, I was like, this shit rotted. That Dedication was so hard. And then rap nigga, like, I ain't nothing like you whack nigga. Like, that shit, like, you rap nigga, it's like, your shit garbage. Like, I felt that, like, your shit garbage. And his shit is thorough. And so from the end of 2017 all the way up into 2019, the whole year, that album was riding. And then the Black Panther album came out. And then Black Panther came out. So that whole black energy was there. And then his album just culminated that shit. His shit was just riding the whole year. And then 2019 came, and he should have won that fucking Grammy. And then 2019 came right after, and a couple months later they killed him. Right after he lost that damn Grammy, the ruling class killed his ass because he was, making power moves. He was on some revolutionary shit. He was changing the energy of the music industry, basically. He was talking independence. He was talking black power. He was talking revolutionary. He was a business mogul, real estate mogul, into tech, like into all of that shit. Clothing stores, land, like being a man, basically. His wife, you know what I'm saying? His Lauren London, just having what I'm saying? Having a kid, just being a man, you know what I'm saying? Being in a real relationship, like that was some boss shit. Handling it, and then owning land, owning real estate, and owning stores and property in your community that you grew up in, and taking that over. That's another thing. The Marathon store, you know what I'm saying, in a prime area that is owned by him, that they're trying to gentrify. That's gonna have the price value in the billions and millions. You don't think that's a ruling class operation? Of course it is. Of course it is. Carried out by 5-0. That was an operation. That's why, as soon as they did it, the Facebook thing got flooded with everybody, with a whole bunch of randoms saying, "Oh nah, this ain't no this and that. This is a black on black thing. This is a hood niggas hating." Notice that narrative was coming out. And notice the pussy ass celebrity class was coming out with this is why I don't do nothing for the black community. This is why the black community ain't shit. This is why people ain't shit. Da da da. I'm like, you're really a weak ass bitch, and you are willing to sell out the whole apparatus just so you can maintain your little house position on the plantation. You house fucking niggas. Fuck you, celebrity class niggas. I remember that shit. That's some real foul fuckboy shit that y'all did. And I don't forget that. I don't forget any of that suck ass shit. Weak ass motherfuckers. Fuck y'all. So the Nipsey shit, I remember that. And you could tell that was an operation. They gave them the script and they all went for the script. They all bowed down to the script. And you could tell that was a ruling class operation carried out probably by 5 along with other intelligence agencies, FBI, CIA. And then on top of that, paramilitary, and then the patsy, that shitty cuz dude. Notice the police protected him. Notice you don't even hear anything about the trial. It's been 2 years, you ain't even hear about the trial. Notice none of the celebrities that were so like, yeah, we down for Nip, and we putting the letter out for Nip, and Nip. They not mentioning shit about the trial. They not even raising the thing like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on with this shit? Like, why is there no information on this shit? They not banging no doors, like, trying to figure it out. Don't y'all think that's strange? Come on, man. And it's not being talked about at all in the media, especially if this was a hood gang thing. Come on, man. Come on. It was clearly a ruling class operation. That's why the ruling class ain't talking about it. That's why they're burying the story. That's why they're silent. They get away with way too much fuck shit, man. Way too much fuck shit. And now it's time to do a reviewing on all the fuck shit. They assassinated Nipsey. That was the 1% that did that shit. They assassinated him. They assassinated him. That was an operation. It's clearly it was an operation. Um, then the Kobe thing. It came out just recently that a couple days before the Kobe assassination that he was gonna leave Nike. He was gonna be completely independent, start his own thing, do his own thing. That was the operation as well. That was a real class operation as well. That was an operation. That was not no damn accident. He's been taking planes his whole fucking career, all the time. And the story has changed so many times. That's bullshit. And the fact that nobody's calling that out in the circles tells you that's bullshit. The fact that they went along with, yeah, this is just a simple death, and this is just a freak accident. Fuck that. Fuck that. Motherfucker, people die all the fucking time from damn car accidents or your plane going down like Aaliyah shit. You don't think that? Come on. Come on. Yo, man. Come on, man. Man, this whole thing needs to be defeated, man. For real. And we need to start calling this shit out. We need to start looking at, of course, reopening the shit about Michael Jackson and Prince. It's the same ruling class circle, same conglomerate. Shit with James Brown, shit with Bernie Mac. Come on, you gotta look at all of this shit now. Look at how all of them just mysteriously. Look at how all the old school guys who were all on code with creating this black music industry, all of a sudden just all vanished, just all died mysteriously. Come on, come on. Bob Marley the list is so long, it's ridiculous. This one guy needs to lose. It's time for them to lose for real because it's way too much fuck shit that they've done. They've done way too much fuck shit, and just evil. Even recently, with the jit rappers, King Von and Juice WRLD and Pop, like, you know what I'm saying? These people are literally making money hand over fist. These corrupt music corporations making fist off of dead peoples or X Tentacion and shit. Like, they started all of a sudden, then their careers blow up. Then they get all the machine hype, and you don't think that they weren't even independent or they were about to be independent. All of a sudden, now all of that machine money goes to the people in charge of the corporations and not the family or anything like that. So they're making hand over fist off of dead people, basically. Like, it's completely demonic, degrading, and corrupt and bullshit. And